something powerful about the word impossible. It's sharp, final. It slams the door in your face. In sports, impossible gets thrown around a lot. No one can beat that record. That team will never win. That comeback? Not happening. But every once in a while, someone doesn't listen. Someone dares to question that word. And when they do, they don't just break records. They rewrite history. This is the story of the athletes and teams who were told, "You can't," and then showed the world exactly why they could. Before 1980, the Soviet Union hockey team was a machine. Gold in 1956, 1964, 1968, 1972, and 1976. They weren't just good, they were untouchable. Their system was built on discipline, experience, and brutal training regimens. Most of their players had been together for years. Now compare that to the 1980 US Olympic team. College kids, no NHL stars, just a bunch of amateurs, some barely out of their teens. So when the two teams met at the Winter Olympics in Lake Placid, people expected a slaughter. Even the US media was already prepping their coverage of a Soviet win. But then, the impossible happened. Team USA didn't just play with the Soviets. They beat them, 4-3. It wasn't even the final, but it didn't matter. That moment instantly became legend. Herb Brooks's Underdogs pulled off what many called the greatest sports upset of all time. They went on to win gold. And America didn't just win a medal, they won belief. Chapter 2. Roger Bannister breaks the 4-minute mile before 1954. No one had ever run a mile in under 4 minutes. Scientists even claimed it was physiologically impossible. The logic was simple. The heart would give out. The body would collapse. It just couldn't be done. But Roger Bannister, a British medical student and middle-distance runner, wasn't convinced. He trained during lunch breaks, ran in harsh weather, used strategies that were unorthodox at the time, including pacing and interval work. And on May 6, 1954, at Oxford University, he lined up to run a mile that would change history. With 2 pace-setters helping him through the early laps, Bannister sprinted the final 200 meters, and then came the announcement. The time was 3. The crowd erupted before the official time was even completed. 3 minutes, 59.4 seconds. The barrier had fallen, and within a year, several other runners broke it too. Bannister didn't just break a record, he broke a mental wall. He proved that impossible is often just an illusion we agree to believe. You want to talk about odds? Try 5,000 to 1. That's what British bookmakers were offering for Leicester City to win the English Premier League in 2016. Those are the same odds as Elvis being found alive, or Bigfoot walking into Times Square. Leicester had narrowly avoided relegation the previous season. They had no superstar players, a new manager who many believed was past his prime, and a budget that was a fraction of what big clubs like Chelsea, Manchester City, and Arsenal spent. But week after week, win after win, Leicester defied everything. Led by Jamie Vardy, Riyad Mahrez, and N'Golo Kanté, they played with heart, discipline, and belief. No one saw it coming, not even their own fans. Pundits dismissed them every step of the way. And then, against all logic and predictions, Leicester City won the Premier League. It was one of the most shocking, beautiful, impossible stories in modern sports. They didn't just lift a trophy, they lifted the spirits of every underdog in the world. By 2017, Serena Williams had already cemented her legacy. She was a 22-time Grand Slam champion, a global icon. But what happened at the Australian Open that year wasn't just another title run. Unbeknownst to the public, and even to her opponent, Serena was 8 weeks pregnant. Think about that. Morning sickness, fatigue, hormonal shifts, and she was out there, crushing opponents and serving up aces. She didn't drop a single set during the entire tournament. And in the final, She beat her sister Venus, another legend, to claim her 23rd Grand Slam title. Most people slow down when they're starting a family. Serena, she made history and reminded the world, strength isn't just physical, and of what happens when courage outruns the status quo. Today, thousands of women run marathons around the world because Catherine Switzer refused to sit out. We thought we'd seen speed. Then Usain Bolt happened. At the 2009 World Championships in Berlin, Bolt ran the 100 meters in 9.58 seconds. That's 27.8 miles per hour. To put that in perspective, he covered 10 meters every second. That's faster than most mopeds on a city street. People didn't just cheer, they laughed in disbelief. It looked effortless, like he was jogging past physics itself. Every coach, every analyst, every stopwatch agreed. This should not be possible. And yet, it was. Usain Bolt didn't just break a world record. He broke the belief that human speed had peaked. He made the impossible look easy. If you were placing bets at the Sydney Olympics in 2000, this would have seemed like a joke. Rulon Gardner, a Wyoming farm boy, was going up against Alexander Karelin, a Russian wrestling god. Karelin hadn't lost in 13 years. He hadn't given up a point in 6. He was so dominant, people nicknamed him the Experiment. As in, he didn't seem real. And yet, Gardner beat him, not with flashy moves, but with grit. He outlasted the unbeatable. The world stood still, because in that moment, the myth of invincibility vanished. Gardner's win wasn't just an upset. It was a reminder that even giants can fall. What makes these stories unforgettable isn't just the medals or the records. It's that they challenge something far more powerful. The idea that something can't be done. They weren't supposed to win. They weren't supposed to break barriers. They weren't supposed to make history. But they did. And that's the thing about impossible. It only exists until someone proves otherwise. So the next time you hear, "No one's ever done that before," smile, because that's exactly what every history maker hears, right before they prove everyone wrong. They said it was impossible. And that's exactly why it mattered. Because history isn't written by those who follow the rules. It's written by the ones who challenge them and win anyway. And if they could do the impossible, maybe, just maybe, so can you. Please hit the like button if you liked the video.